position in American sports feels the pressure or the weight on their shoulders like a quarterback. Hopes and dreams of an entire fan base of teams ride on whether their signal caller can lead them to glory. And boy, what a matchup of two elite dudes we have in this one. Welcome, everyone, to the home of the LSU Fighting Tigers, Baton Rouge and Tiger Stadium. As we'll see a squad from the SEC, the Georgia Bulldogs, taking on last year's national champions, the LSU Tigers. For EA Sports College Football, Reese Davis with you alongside David Pollack and Jesse Palmer. And guys, can't wait to get this one started. Georgia about to kick it off to get us underway. Here he comes from midway in the end zone. He stopped at the 23, a couple yards short of where he would have been with a touchback. Offense in a bunch formation. They're going to throw it to start the drive. Just a hair too much on it from this big-armed sophomore quarterback.
Man, the quarterback threw that ball hard, too. And I know sometimes when you're throwing an in-breaking route, you want to get it to your receiver quickly. But when you try to strain and throw it harder, oftentimes your accuracy is what suffers. And you saw it there on the incompletion.
So now it's second and long. He wants to change this route. Trying play action. Oh, they're after him. And he just chucks it into the fourth row.
A nice job by the quarterback there. You're outside the pocket, nobody's open, so you throw the ball away knowing that you still have more chances to get this first down.
And after a couple of misfires, this offense looking at 3rd and 10. From the gun, wants to pass. Working that left side now. Good call, good execution as they move the chains and they have a first down at the 38.
When you're a playmaker like this guy is, your coaches are going to dial up plays intended for you, especially on 3rd down. That's what you saw in that last play. There was no question where the quarterback was going with that football. All week long, they decided on the biggest downs of this game, we're going to target our best player. And we're going to make sure that he gets looks. It doesn't matter what the coverage is. You saw it right there on that.
And great recognition by the corner. That touch pass, after he throws it to the quarterback, it's a pass. He can't throw it forward again. Nice job understating that. Flying up, coming and making the big tackle in the open field.
What will they dial up on 2nd and a long way to go? Quarterback adjusting the pattern. Wants to throw again. Got his man. And just a short, safe pass play. They pick up a few.
Great job on the defense, seeing it right away, reacting to the screen, going and getting the football, and getting the fast playmaker on the ground.
Ball is at the 41 as this defense tries to force the punt on 3rd and long. From the gun, wants to pass. That one comes out hot down the right side. And the incomplete pass on 3rd down, but there is a flag on the field. We'll see what that's about. The offense will gladly take a fresh set of downs after the penalty. The throw to the outside is complete. He'll go out of bounds inside the 40. They'll mark it at the 39. Death Valley has a well-earned rep of being intimidating. It is nice to be the quarterback to have everything on your side.
And have everything quiet. It's the loudest place by far that I ever played. I mean, for an entire game, they are on their feet, yelling, screaming. Now listen, we can't play all the words they're yelling, Reese, but they are an intimidating crowd.
I'll tell you, I love the play call on 1st down here. You're just trying to find an easy completion, and the shortest throw on the field for the quarterback is finding your biggest target, and that's the tight end. Nice job.
From the gun, the running back tries to hit the hole. Brought down, but looks as if LSU will pick up the 1st down.
You got to have short area quickness. That running back there doing what it takes to make sure he got that 1st down.
The Tigers have it with a 1st and 10. Use the play fake, now to throw. Right down the middle. All kinds of room to throw that one in there. He was smelling that end zone, but they get him down at the 4 after the big pass play. It is great to have a tight end that can do it all and one that can get downfield and make a play.
And I like matching and mixing and matching up the play fake on play action with this tight end because it just gives him a little more time to work his route down the field. Nice play call there by the quarterback.
And this offense shows right away on 1st down. They're willing to pass down here. This is soften them up a little bit for the run here on 2nd down and goal.
Can the D deny them on 2nd and goal? He'll run it to the right, looking for the goal line. Some hard running there, but just too many defenders as he stopped for a loss.
Man, and that's a frustrating play when you go in reverse near the goal line, goal-to-go situations, Palmer. You got to get those positive yards. You can't go backwards if you're trying to get a touchdown.
You know, I'm trusting in my quarterback here to make the right decision. Looks like we're going to have to throw it, right? But if it's not open, just throw this.
Touchdown, Tiger! Made the grab and then did the rest himself and then put points on the board.
Man, great first drive by this offense. Capped off. 3rd and goal situation. A lot of times thinking run. They got a perfect play scripted. Take advantage of the defense. Get the passing touchdown and get this party started right.
And he's got the extra point, and it's 7-0 to start this one. Kickoff unit on the field, and this defense will be called on to protect this lead. And he's going to bring this one out. Gets it across the 20 to the 21, and not quite what he would have picked up Looking downfield on first down. He's in open space downfield. Hard running there. Out to the 32-yard line before he goes out of bounds, and that's the way to give a little start to the drive.
Well, what's the point in waiting? Why not get one of your best players involved in the game right off the bat? They take a shot, their big target outside, shows off his athletic ability, and right away this offense is humming.
Looking to throw on first down. Floats it out in space. Spins away from the defense.
Well, your opponent scored on their opening drive, so obviously no need to panic. But I know, having been in this situation as a quarterback, you want to answer right away. So really good to see him making some nice throws here on their opening drive. He's going to try and see if he can get this thing tied up.
This crowd, full throat, splitting the eardrums and letting him know it's going to be a long day. Handoff from the gun. Breaks into the open. He stopped at the 48, a pickup of 10 on the play.
Man, that was a good run, but it was almost even better. Great job by the offense. Keep the running game going. You get big chunks like this. Not only was that a big chunk, it also looked like it could have gone for more.
Here they come, 1st and 10 from the 48. Looking to throw on first down. Here's a heat. Takes a shot as he lets it go. Just missed on the connection. Incomplete.
Looks to me on that deep ball like he was forcing it a little bit. You got to be careful as a quarterback. You're not trying to outduel the other guy who just threw a touchdown pass. You're just trying to win the game. So just execute the plays. The ball goes to who it's designed to go to. If that means you got to turn around and hand it off, then that's what you got to do. But I think on that last deep ball, QB forcing it a little bit.
Backed up now. Here's 2nd and long. After the incompletion, back to the passing game. Punch it out of the air. And he broke one tackle on the way to a solid pickup there.
A nice job by the QB there, timing out that drag throw. It's zone coverage, so he's got to make sure he gets it to his receiver in a window to allow him to catch the ball and then turn it upfield.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge 3rd down coming. They'll try to get the first through the air. Makes the grab on the left. Crosses the 30. He's got to lay it. They've got it inside the 30. They'll mark it at the 28. It's first down.
And that's why this guy is such a weapon in this offense, because you don't have to throw it far downfield. Just get the ball in his hands. He catches it close to the line of scrimmage, but look what he was able to do after the catch. He gets an explosive play for this offense.
From the gun, running back on the move. There to make the tackle, and that's how we'll wrap up this first period. Guys, LSU has the lead here. We've put one in the books. Let's have a look at our game summary. Heading in the opposite directions now as we crank it up in the second. They're about to snap it for the 7th time on this drive. Looking to fire. He'll pull it down. Turning it on. He goes out of bounds right at the 10-yard line, and the offense can smell the touchdown from here.
Well, he does a really nice job buying time, and I love the awareness there, understanding no one's open downfield, knowing where the sticks are, and he's able to use his athleticism to get that first down.
Wants to throw on first down. Floating away. Lets it go to the end zone. Can't make the grab as he was looking for his man right at the goal line.
Yeah, I don't know if the quarterback got confused on first down. He might have thought the defense was going to be in man coverage that time, but they were in zone. They fooled him and just didn't seem like he had his eyes in the right place, was forcing that ball to his intended target. The window way too small. The guy was not open, so that didn't have a chance to be complete.
Going to work in the red zone, they can't pick up the first down without getting it into the end zone. The corners are walked up tight. Wide receiver comes in motion. Out of the gun, the running back has it. And the defense holds firm. No pickup at all on that play.
And that's why he is an All-American caliber player. He is just so physical and dominant against the run. He's able to shed blockers, use his athleticism, use his speed, get to the ball carrier and bring him down. Simply one of the best box defenders you're going to find in the entire country.
Boy, they'd love to pick up this conversion and go to work with a first and goal. Trying to move the sticks on third down through the air. Oh, they really could have used that catch there. Physical pass defense. It brings up a fourth down.
Nice job by the defense. They're mixing up their look. They're third and long in field goal range. They go zone coverage. So everybody on the back end has the eye on the quarterback, and they're able to break on the ball, force the incompletion.
And the Dogs will try to convert on fourth down. He'll try to throw and pick up the first down. He's got it. How about that defense rising up and stopping him short on fourth down?
Man, aggressive play calls. Everybody wants you to be aggressive. They're aggressive. They take their shot. Now they got to live with a little bit of the consequences. They turn the football over on downs. Now their defense has to go out on the field and make some stops.
LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. That last drive, an absolute aerial assault for the touchdown, Jesse.
It was a nice job in play calling, too, David, just giving the quarterback some easy looks and reads so he could go out and execute.
And he knew exactly where to go with the football. Everything looked really, really easy. He was hot. The ball was coming out of his hands. The defense better do something different.
Ball spotted at the 21. It's first down. Making side adjustments here. Wants to go up top on first down. Fires left. And his throw is incomplete.
I don't know about the decision that time by the quarterback. He may have been expecting man coverage, but that time the defense was in zone, and they did a really nice job closing the window. The intended target was not open, and that's why that one fell incomplete.
They're dealing with a second and long. Couldn't connect on first down, now back to the air. Finds a man on the left. Good call, good execution as they move the chains, and they have a first down at the 38.
That's a really nice job hauling that pass in, and you think LSU has just been such a breeding ground in recent years for receivers. Jamar Chase, Justin Jefferson, OBJ, Jarvis Landry, they all have the ability to make a play anywhere on the field, and that's what this guy can do. You can line him up anywhere. He can run routes at all three levels of the secondary. The defense has to know where he is lined up every single play.
To the air on first down. Quickly to the tight end. And not much doing there as that defense runs him out of bounds.
Kind of like that big, reliable security blanket. And that's what tight ends are a lot of times. They're just usually big, huge guys that if I throw it anywhere near him, he's going to pluck it, catch it, and give me some positive yards.
Second down, he'll throw it. Fires to the middle. Got his man downfield. He's brought down, but there's a flag on the play. Let's see if it stands. So that penalty is going to cost them the first down as they back up, and now it's second down. The Tigers now with a long way to go to pick up the first down. Might be calling a hot route. Second down, they'll go to the air. Knew where he wanted to go with it, but couldn't find his target. It's incomplete.
And those are frustrating. Like, those drops really annoy you because those running backs are always asking to be more a part of the game plan. Get the ball more, touch it more. An awesome opportunity in the pass game to make a play, ball right in his hands, and that is a missed opportunity.
Third down upcoming for the offense after the incomplete pass. Just keeps slinging it. Throwing right. Oh, he can't hang on. That one was nearly picked off. Instead, he'll force a fourth down.
Man, what a break on the football. He read that the whole way. He just couldn't finish it. You know he saw the end zone. He saw the grass in front of him to break on that and maybe take it to the house, but just a missed opportunity.
He's got great speed. The solid return there offsets some of the punt yardage and really sets up this offense nicely. And Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. They've taken a couple of punches to the jaw, and now they'll try to get this offense going down a couple of touchdowns. Creates a little space. And the defense settled in to stop that one for a short gain. You know, sometimes even a short gain like that can be used to set up something bigger later on.
No doubt, Reese, they can pump that and take a shot down the field. And don't worry, they're going to go back to that same play because they know this guy with the ball in his hands is dangerous. He makes one guy miss, he can take it to the house.
Quarterback feeling that pressure, and he's knocked down at 42.
And you don't want to see this trend continue. Last week he was sacked 4 times. The offensive line, this offense as a whole, needs to get in better situations, get rid of the football faster, and not keep getting their quarterback hit.
They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. From the gun, wants to pass. He tosses one high and deep down the left side. And they wanted it all on third down, but now dealing with fourth down.
Oof, you got to be careful if you're the quarterback there. Third down, you know, you see a lot of exotic coverages by the defense. That time they played zone, and he tried to force that football into a real tiny window. He's lucky that one wasn't picked off.
Gets it out of there for the first time today, and didn't see much of him that loss a week ago. Called on just once.
Nice job. A little hang time, getting it up in the air. It's coming inside the 10. Nothing goes inside the 5-yard line. That is exactly how you draw it up.
They've got a little time here to put together a productive drive late in the half. They'll start this drive going to the air. Gets it out quickly. Really nice job there by both guys to throw and the catch to work that defense and get the first down.
Defense, what are we doing? How are you going to let that guy, one of the best receivers in the entire country, be wide open like that? You're just making it way too easy for the offense.
Looking downfield on first down. Pocket breaking down. He's got it along the sideline. And that one looked as if it might go all the way, but they picked up more than 40 yards before the touchdown-saving tackle. It'll be 1st and 10 from the 30. the play fake. Now to throw. Looking left. He's got it. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
Man, this defense, they have got to get better in coverage if they want to get off the field anytime soon. You keep defending like that, this offense might hang 50 on you by the end of the game.
Motion from the wide receiver. Looking to throw on first down. Flips it out in the flat. They go up top to get it down to the 5-yard line as they try to pay off this drive.
All right, defense, you know coming into this game you're playing a fast quarterback. You know it's not going to be easy getting him on the ground. You got to start thinking about how you're pass rushing. You know, rushing right up the middle and allowing him to get outside, it's going to be a tough task.
Quarterback may change this route. Wants to throw. He's working against the clock. Pressure coming. Blasted as he lets it go.
Well, the offensive line has got to give him at least a little bit of time to survey the field. He had no chance that time, getting hit almost immediately after he got the ball.
They'd love to pick up this third down and get a fresh set with first and goal. They'll move the tight end. Using his feet. And he runs it in for the score. Touchdown, Tiger!
But how big is that for this offense? Put a nice drive together, get the touchdown, add to this lead already. Everything right now, Palmer, going their way.
Yeah, that was as good a two-minute type situation as you could have offensively. And David, they've got so many weapons on this offense. They practice these situations all the time, and they put it to work here at the end of the first half.
And he's not going to take the touchback. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Here we go. They'll try to get something on the board here in the final minute of the first half. Wasting no time throwing on this drive. Gonna let it fly. Oh, he had it. The deep ball was there, and it just trickled through his fingers.
Well, on defense, they know that this offense is going to try and take shots. They're going to try and keep their secondary players in a position to make these types of plays. Good job on the back end forcing that incompletion.
Try to make up for some of that lost ground on second down. Misfired on the last play. They'll go back to the air. He's not afraid to go deep. And they won't be able to connect downfield, looking for a big-time play.
The offense just has not been able to find a way to get their rhythm going here in the first half. We just haven't seen it in the passing game. That was a really good example of it again. If they're going to score more points in the second half, they've got to make some adjustments here at halftime.
Better get that seismograph ready here in Death Valley. Huge third down coming. Got his man out of the backfield. Stopped right at the 24-yard line, and that's short of the line to gain. It'll be fourth down. Timeout called by the defense. It's their first of the half as they'll make some adjustments. Georgia lining up to punt it away. That last punt basically flipped the field. They'd like to do it again. Solid punt, headed toward the sideline, trying to make it tough to return. So let's see how they play it in this final 30 seconds of the first half. Quarterback making checks. Looking to throw on first down. He'll take a shot. Oh, he dropped it. That deep ball was right on the money. You just have to make that catch.
And we've already seen this movie early in this football game, and he already has a touchdown, and they're seeking him again. And there's a reason. He can run, right? Like, he's one of their go-to guys on the outside, and you can tell they're trying to use him early and often in this offense.
Going back to the well, another deep ball. Incomplete. They took a shot to wrap up the half and came up empty. First half in the books. Time now to join Kevin Connors in our halftime update. LSU will put foot to leather to start the second half. Looks like he's going to bring it out. Slips through the line. Oh, what vision. Wide open, and it's a foot race. They won't get him. It's a touchdown.
What a way to seize momentum here. You start the second half, you take the first kick back to the house, great blocking, and an awesome job in the open field, making people miss and showing you the speed on that return. Wow.
And let's check in with Kevin Connors in the studio. Kevin?
Fellas, it has gone final in the ACC, a matchup we've been keeping a close eye on. Arizona State dazzled in just about every phase of the game. And for a program that's turned out elite quarterbacks from Jake Plummer to Brock Osweiler, I think we may have seen the next great one emerge. One team will rise in the ACC standings while the other is going to sink like a stone. The harsh reality of college football when conference foes face off, fellas.
And Kevin Connors keeping an eye on everything all over the country. Sounds like they had a good one there. Wide receiver going in motion. Off the play fake on first down to throw. Snagged out of the air. Coming out, attacking from deep in their own end, and they're out at the 26 for the first down. Last completion moves the sticks in. Let's see if they try it again. They'll run play action. Finds his big tight end. Really good job to pick up a chunk of yardage and get it out to the 39-yard line.
I know it's something we take for granted, guys, but the Q did a great job there with the play-action fake. He really took his time and sold it. And that's what froze the linebackers in the second level of the defense to help make that completion a whole lot easier.
They'll move the wide receiver. Leaves it with the running back. Breaks the tackle.
Really good surge that time by the offensive line. You saw all those bodies by the defense being pushed backwards. That opened up the crease for the ball carrier. He's able to get a really nice gain there, setting up second and inches.
And the Tigers have a lot of options on second and inches. They'll send the tight end in motion. Motion from the wideout. Keep it on the ground. On his feet at the 40. They believe in this running game, and they take it all the way down to the 25 before he goes out of bounds.
This shouldn't be a surprise to anybody. If you've got the lead in the third quarter and you want to keep it, you got to bleed the clock. Best way to do that, run the football. And you're now seeing this offense call these run plays back to back. They are trying to be physical, and they're trying to stay on the field.
Might be changing the route. Wide receiver comes in motion. Wants to throw on first down. Just couldn't find an open man. He'll get rid of it, and it'll be second down.
I think he's showing you his experience on that decision right there. There was nothing open, so don't try to force it into coverage. You've got the lead. If it's not there, just throw it away. The head coach loves to see his quarterback make that kind of decision.
Wants to go up top. Flips it out to the back. Run out of bounds at about the 13-yard line, and that's where this offense will go back to work.
Man, this guy's going to need some water when he gets to the sidelines. They've been putting him to work on this drive, right? We've seen him toting the rock with success. Now you're seeing him get involved in the passing game, too. They are highlighting his versatility here on this drive.
LSU getting set on 1st and 10. Pulls and fires complete. They'll get it down to the 8-yard line on that throw and catch, and the defense is backed up against the wall. He pushes it forward all the way to the 2-yard line.
Well, that's two very good decisions on that play by the quarterback, right? Number one, not to hand it off. That was the right look to throw into it. The second good decision was his guy was covered, so don't throw it. Just take off and get what you can get. You got to like the decision-making this guy is showing right now in this game.
On the ground. And he never had a chance. Just stopped cold as soon as he got it.
This is what you love to see from your red zone defense now. You're making the opponent go backwards. Really nice stop on the run, a TFL. Now you got a big second down. Here probably expecting the offense to throw it with a little bit more room to work with.
Motion from the wide receiver. Off play action. Now improvising. And the Heat gets there. And they get him down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, in this part of the field, man, those windows shrink, and it's hard as a quarterback sometimes to really force yourself to throw the football. You're sitting in a good spot in 2nd and goal. Just throw that thing away. Don't take the sack and put you in a bad situation.
Quick timeout by the defense there, trying to make sure everyone has the same call. And how big is that earlier sack now as they try to get it in the end zone here? On 3rd and long, doesn't need to take the check down. He's picked off, and he's thrown a dozen of them.
And he fires a bullet to the tight end. He gets a paw on it, but he couldn't get it in. He couldn't bring it in. What happens with tips and overthrows? Defenses usually take advantage. They do here, and they get the big INT.
We're ready to get another look at this Bulldog offense. They didn't get much done the last time they had it. Had to punt it away from deep in their own territory, hoping this drive will be more productive. Follows a good block there, picks up 3s out to the 9.
And I think this has probably been the most surprising thing of this game so far. This guy's one of the best running backs in the entire country. They just can't get him going. He's never been able to get into a rhythm. You got to give the defense so much credit because they have been able to shut this guy down. And they got to keep that up here in the second half.
The play action fake. Dances away from the pressure, going to his left. Makes the grab on the big throw. Racing down the left side. The 30. Inside the 10. Touchdown Bulldogs. Once he got some room, it was over.
And I love the play call. Oftentimes offensively, you like to throw the football deep down on your own end and take shots because you're anticipating man coverage. So if you get a receiver that can get behind the defense, that has a chance to be a home run type play. And you saw it work out exactly that way right there.
And he added the extra point. They're coming out to tee it up for the kickoff, and that last score was a real buzzkill for this crowd. extra point, the score is now 21-14. Those opportunities, those returns like that can be such game changers, and everyone was right on point, and he took it to the house. And he's going to bring this one out. Tackled at the 24 and almost breaks even with the yardage he would have gotten with a touchback. They'll get things started on this drive from the 24. Going right to work up top. He's there to make the stop, and they threw it in reverse, losing yardage on that play.
You know, as a quarterback, you believe in your matchup. And my running back, if I can get him the ball in space, he's going to win a lot of times. He didn't that time. The defense was ready. Nice job in the open field making the nice tackle.
The Dogs with a long way to go after the loss on the last play. Off the play fake. Looking deep. He got his hands on it, but couldn't hold on to it. What a time that would have been for their first pick of the game.
I think the biggest issue in the passing game for this offense has been accuracy, right? The last time this guy took the field, he completed less than 50% of his throws, and you're seeing that again in this game. Just hasn't been able to put the ball where he wants it to go.
They are calling for their defense in Baton Rouge. A huge third down coming up. Looking downfield, and he needs a bunch. It's complete to the left. He gets it out to the 28-yard line. Not enough to pick up the first down.
Deep to shallow. That's why I have to understand that as a defensive guy. I take away those passes beyond the sticks, and then I react to those quick throws they have to the running back. It's my athlete versus yours. The defense won that battle.
Just a wall of defenders everywhere he looks, and he's guided out of bounds after a short return. First snap of this drive comes from the 32. He might want another play. Off the play fake on first down, wants to throw. Fires one high and deep. Got it in stride inside the 20. Just what they were looking for. A huge explosive play, and they're inside the 15 at the 13-yard line. Guys, LSU has the lead here. Let's take a quick look at the national rankings to see how this playoff race is shaping up. Here comes the fourth. Time to see who steps up, who makes the winning plays to take home that W. They'll go back to work with a first down in the final period. Tight end now in motion. Wants to go up top on first down. Got some room in under the goal line. Touchdown, Bayou Bengals. And they add 6 more to the board with that trip to the house. They tack on another score, and how about the way this team has responded to a loss and now about to move to 9-1. And for a quick update, let's go to Kevin Connors in the studio.
Dynamite matchup this week in CUSA, fellas. Let's show you what's going down. Kennesaw State has the lead right now, but this crowd is restless. They just haven't been able to separate themselves yet today. They're up by 7 over Liberty. Conference USA tends to make its presence felt, and we'll circle back with any big changes, guys.
And how about that one? Kevin will be keeping an eye on everything going on elsewhere. Movement from the linebackers trying to mess with the offensive line's assignments. receiver going in motion. Running to the left. He's going to lose a yard on that one.
Yeah, and this offense has to find a way to run the football. They got to get more creative, or whatever that looks like for this offense, something to jumpstart them, because nothing really going on the ground.
Yeah, defensively, though, you got to give them credit, too, because they knew that physically they were going to try to be challenged up front. That was a big MO for this offense coming into it. But the defense, they've risen to the occasion. Their front seven has dominated this entire game.
They'll go to work in the air on second down. Makes the grab. He stopped just short of midfield. They'll mark him out of bounds at the 48.
Yeah, David, you just wonder at this point, is it just too little too late? This is one of their best playmakers offensively, but they just haven't been able to get him going in this game. Big reason why they're losing.
Yeah, and the defense has done a great job understanding that. I got to take that guy away. That's priority number one. Understand it. Late in the game now, up by multiple scores. I'm playing my defense a little bit different. Can't give up the big plays. Time is on my side.
Got his man on the outside.
And man, that is not the third down execution you want. Trying to get it to a playmaker so he can make plays. He gets nowhere, actually loses yards, and brings up a fourth down.
On fourth down, they'll throw for it. Unloads to the wideout. Oh, he dropped it. Just didn't look it all the way in, and they'll turn it over on downs. And that decision will be questioned for a while. The Bayou Bengals will run the offense out onto the field. Tight end in motion, see how the D reacts. Coming out on first down with the play fake. Quarterback moving. Connection to the right.
I love an offense that wants to stay aggressive. Even when you've got the lead late in a game like this, right, you still try to find your playmakers and get them the ball in space, and that is exactly what this offense is doing.
The Tigers can really attack on this second and short. Complete. And he's brought down after a nice gain.
This offense is not letting up, guys. They've got a lead here late, and they are still taking shots. They're still looking for explosive plays. This defense just has not had an answer here all game long.
Now the play fake. Throws toward the end zone. And it's caught. Touchdown, LSU. They're now in really good shape to get back into the win column as they extend the lead here late.
There's no mercy rule in college football, man. They've got a huge lead here in the fourth quarter. They are still chucking it, and they are still scoring.
Lining up to tack one more onto that lead. The extra point splits the uprights, and they're up a full 3 touchdowns, a 21-point cushion in the fourth. They're ready to kick it away, and this crowd is buzzing after that last score. And he'll bring it out of the end zone. Nice job by the kickoff team. Everybody stayed in their lanes, and they'll stop him at the 16. Georgia ready to go back to work on offense. What a turn that last drive was. Didn't pick up the fourth down, and it led to the score. And he will be sacked at the 6-yard line. He is a menace rushing the passer. Career sack number 20.
I mean, some people just have a knack for getting to the quarterback. What a great job throughout his career. Getting there, getting him down, getting pressures. He has been a quarterback's worst nightmare.
I was just going to say, David, you don't sleep well as a quarterback the night before you have to play against this guy because he is going to sack you. That is a guarantee. Death, taxes, and sacks for that guy.
It's always interesting how people handle late game. Like, you know this game is over. There's not a lot to gain from it, but some people try to throw the ball deep and continue to make plays. They throw it short. The clock's running out, and there's not a lot to talk about that's going to be positive for this offense.
This defense has kept them backed up. Now one more stop, and they can get off the field on 3rd and long. Looking to throw, and he needs a bunch. Takes a hit as he fires. And this is going to be incomplete on 3rd.
Well, it's been that kind of day here tonight. They just have not been able to find a rhythm and establish that throwing the football. Part of it has been wide receivers and quarterbacks not being on the same page, but you've got to give this defense credit, too. Just like that last play, they have been getting after him. They've been hitting him, and that's a big reason why they've got such a big lead here in the 4th.
LSU will dive into the playbook here on offense. This has been exactly the way you draw things up, David. The offense has really been moving the football.
And it's been great execution. They've done exactly what they've wanted to do. Build the lead. Now Palmer's a different animal. Now you got to protect him.
You can tell they were paying attention in practice this week in the film room because they have gone out, everybody right now on the same page.
The Tigers in a good spot here with 2nd and short. They'll keep it on the ground to keep this clock moving. Not much running room there thanks to this senior defender.
And I know you can play these late game situations differently, but I love when you just stay physical. You run the football, you preserve the lead, you got great field position. You're in a great position to salt this clock away and get a W.
And the Tigers come to the line on 3rd and short, hoping to keep the drive alive. The offense changing the play. On 3rd and short, they'll try to pick it up with the pass. He'll just throw it away, and it'll be 4th down.
And everyone needs to have their packages. When they go 5 wide and they spread you wide, what's your answers? And I like the defense right here, bringing pressure, getting to the...
They snap it to the up man. He'll try to run for it. And they roll the dice, and it ain't snake eyes. They pick up the 1st down.
And so many times when you're studying the other team and their defense and what they're going to do, you know there's certain looks you're going to get into. And I think they saw one they liked, snapped it to the up back. He catches the football, gets north and south, gets the 1st down. Nice execution on the fake punt, baby.
LSU with the 1st and 10 here. They'll give it to the back. Oh, he's got some space. Nice pickup on the ground there, and they'll move the sticks with the 1st down.
Yeah, you got to be impressed with this offense, man. 4th quarter, they've been money. Great job putting drives together. Nice play there as well, but this offense has saved their best for the last part of this football game when they needed it the most.
Getting work done on the ground. He's pulled down at the 14-yard line.
Yeah, it's make or break time for this defense now. They got to get a stop, and if it's bringing more bodies in, bringing more beef in, they're running the football right up the gut, right at you. They're not going to throw the football in this situation. Time to be more physical and get this big stop.
Pulled down at the 11-yard line as they inch closer and closer to pay dirt.
Well, we know this defense is one that plays with a lot of pride, right? And part of that is their ability stopping the run. They're a top 25 unit in the nation when it comes to stopping the rush, and that really helps them out down here in the red zone. They're going to have to step up big time in this situation.
He didn't get it. Not only that, he